Woo woo! Hello everyone, Sierra Turner here, and welcome to today's training session, Session 7, our last session. You've made it all the way through. Congratulations, we're almost done. Now let's begin. Today we are going to discuss community involvement. Now granted, I understand that COVID-19 is among us, and community involvement may look different than before, but the principles spelled out in this session will still be applicable when things calm down. Before we get too deep into our materials today, we want to make sure to take the time and thank HRSA, our Health Resources and Services Administration. Without them, this project or this training would not be possible. As always, we have today's objectives. The purpose of this training is to discuss and define community involvement, identify the community benefits of community involvement by young people, as well as identify benefits to the young people being involved in community activities. So, with that being said, what is community involvement? Providing opportunities for community involvement in youth programs means offering young people activities that increase their knowledge of their communities and promote a sense of positive belonging to the community. Community knowledge includes learning about the community's history, its people, and the diverse cultures they represent, as well as its resources. It may also include learning about real-life challenges the community and its residents face. Opportunities for community involvement allow young people to give back to others through community service activities. With that being said, let's take a moment to reflect. Why does community involvement matter? Why might it be important? Does it benefit youth and the community in the same way? Now, obviously, we're on a video, but these are still extremely important questions to consider as you look at involving community involvement with your youth and your youth programming. All right, so the community can benefit from involvement in the following ways. Service contributions help the whole community. This may be obvious, but it's worth emphasizing. Young people's service makes a valuable contribution to the whole, whether it be raising awareness about an issue they care about or volunteering with an organization. Youth involvement supports everybody in the community. Reduce age and cultural-related prejudices. There's a lot of bias against risky and irresponsible teens in American culture. When young people and adults work towards a common goal in the community, those perceptions can be broken down. Lastly, the community can benefit by increasing adult voice for youth development resources. All right, so what are some benefits to youth? Well, we know that youth also benefit from engaging with the community. They benefit from the following ways. They get to learn via activities not available in school, have greater motivation for participation, have greater understanding of diversity within their community, develop new skills or communication strategies, feel valued by others outside of their school, as well as imagine a new possible self. What I mean by this is that out in the community, seeing people do things and doing things themselves that they've never done before allows young people to try on different possibilities for themselves. Possibilities that have never been exposed to at school or at home hanging with their friends. All right, so when young people are involved in determining the types of community involvement you do in your program, it is more rewarding and impactful for all involved. One mistake that youth programs make is to give young people choice about the big things and then manage all the details for them. Young people need to regularly experience that their voice is heard and that it matters. Whatever you decide to do will require the permission of the supporting families, so it'd be best to tell them what you were thinking of doing and invite their input rather than just inform the parents of the decisions you've made for their children. Staff voice is also super important. Staff perspectives are needed to keep projects realistic and doable and within your budget and time restrictions. So next, let's define our community. People living in the same place all have a different definition of their community, depending on where they go to school, shop, work, spend time, etc. Conversations about physical boundaries of the community and its characteristics bring agreement and also help the group figure out what activities they might want to do. For example, if several people describe a certain problem about a community that reveals an issue that is important to the group, they might like to take that work on. Resources to utilize. For those who want to go in depth in terms of defining the community and understanding its characteristics, a lot of information is publicly available, including the ability to make color-coded maps, for example, of the prevalence of some issue in each zip code. Another possibility is called the community asset mapping. In this activity, people draw a representation of their community and then draw in the features that they think are assets. This could be anything from ranging from parks to their home to a group of young people that regularly meet to hang out. These assets become resources for their work, resources that they may not have thought of otherwise. Okay, selecting a community involvement activity. As you plan your community involvement activities, I would highly recommend seriously evaluating if the community involvement activity or activities you have in mind are doable, especially before telling your young people that you guys are 100% doing this activity. So you might want to think of some guiding questions to ask yourself and your team before moving forward with your community involvement activity. Questions such as, do you have the budget? Do you have the time? And do you have the support to run out this activity from start to finish? Something else to consider is if the passion is there. Sometimes when we involve our young people in the big picture, but we don't involve them in the details, they might lose passion for the project. So one way to make sure that your community involvement activity is sustained and doing well is to do your best as a facilitator to encourage the young people to keep their passion behind why they decided to do their project. All right. So here is an example that we can see from our community involvement model. We have a long-term outcome of increasing community safety. We're going to achieve this by increasing community communication, our short-term outcome. This is a great image to take with you as you plan community involvement activities in your program. In summary, by offering community involvement activities, we are offering young people activities that increase their knowledge of their communities, promote a sense of belonging to the community, and provide a diverse range of activities that the young people can be involved in. And remember, community involvement activities benefit both young people and the communities. Thank you all so much for joining. You have completed the youth development training. Congratulations. May you apply this information when possible and continue to be amazing.